Okay. Maybe if I can find the button tab thing. There we go. I'm in the world of hurt in this game that I'm doing, but hopefully as time goes on, that will change, guys. Anyways, welcome to Grand Tactician. We've done plenty of content of this game on the channel. If you guys want to see the previous episodes, you go back and you can watch the previous campaigns. Now, today we're going to restart from scratch, basically, except for a couple of things because of the update. I do already have a game going, so we're going to go with that. But in terms of episodes and being recorded for YouTube, we are starting over again. And guys, this game can be a little bit dry at times because I'm waiting for stuff to happen. But don't be afraid to engage with me in the comments because while I'm sitting here waiting for action to happen, it is kind of boring. So keep me talking. I do need to worry about doing Confederate industry, that kind of thing, but we will see what happens. Yeah, they are pretty cool. The only thing that I don't like about this game here is that I think they could have put more time into the battles in the sense of battle detail. As you can see right now, I have 5 armies invading the south right now, so we're in the world of hurt, but we're in a situation where we can't do nothing about it as of right now. I'll show you why. So these are basically the laws that I can pass as the Confederacy. Now you'll see that I have the 1-year enlistments for militia. I got the 2-year enlistments. I'm now working on the 3-year enlistments. And the reason why we can't do nothing is because we are short on manpower. Basically, you don't have enough manpower to fill out the other armies. So I'm sitting in one spot trying to hold the ground there while they have free reign of the rest of the South. Now that might sound bad, but I'm thinking once I get the 3rd-year contracts, in other words, 3-year contract enlistments, I will be able to do something with the other armies and fill them out. It's just a matter of sitting there and trying to hold the ground that we do have, and trying to hold out until I get what I need to do that to fight back and push them out of the other states. Now, this game, for those of you that don't know, it has a Total War style 3D battle for the infantry battles. The naval battles, it's just auto-resolve for the best I know, from what I understand, as of right now, but it is still early access, so I don't know if they're gonna change that or not. What else can I say? Also, there is a economic system in the game as well, and I'm explaining the game for my new viewers. A lot of the old subscribers know that I play this game, they know how it works, but for the fact of the new viewers, I'm going to run through the whole entire process to show you how involved this game is. It's not just 3D battles. So if I click here, this brings up the industry and the farms and whatnot. I have to build my own farms, I have to build my own industry. Now, these money things that you see filling up, that basically means once that fills up, I can get that particular thing at a cheaper price. I can place it before that is full, but I won't get the most out of it, out of my funds, if I do that. Also, we have somewhat of a economic system. As you can see, we are 227 million in debt, which might seem like it's bad, but not really. We have a, hang on. We have a credit rating of BBB plus. That's pretty decent. So the lower this falls, the worse it gets. I'm putting in 25 million a month for military funds, and I'm putting in 6 million for industry, which tells me I want to jack that up so we get it faster. Now I'm putting in 12 million a month, 0.5 million a month for industry. That's going to be beneficial. And what else? And then we have somewhat of the tech tree. Now, I won't call it the tech tree because it's not. It's really the projects that the government finances to gain certain things. Okay, certain weapons and doctrines, etc. That's what this page is. They call it the project page, but if you put it into Total War terms, this is basically your tech tree. Okay? So let's just say, for example, I'm not going to do it because it would be a waste of money to do this. But, for example, let's just say I wanted to produce my own artillery that wasn't so great, but it would give me the ability to produce my own artillery. I would get this artillery cast, okay? If I wanted to get cavalry carbines, I would get cavalry carbines. If I wanted to reform the cavalry, I would get cavalry reform, etc., etc. So you just go right down this line. you can see that I already have Confederate rifles, which basically is duplicates of United States service rifles, pretty much under a different name. If you read this description, that's what that is. But in terms of that, let me show you what this is. So I have Confederate rifles unlocked. Okay? Now what this does is if I go to the Army of the Shenandoah and I click Army Management, it shows me how the Army is organized. But also, if I go to the weapons page, now this is the Confederate States of America's weapon log, basically. In other words, if I need a particular weapon manufactured, okay, I come here to place orders. You basically play as Confederate President Jeff Davis. So you do everything governmentally at the same time as doing everything in a Total War perspective, doing the 3D battles, etc., etc. So let's just say I'm not going to order nothing because I have plenty of rifles coming in. But let me see if I can't find it here. So if I wanted to place another order of the copy of the US model 1855, which is the Fairville rifle or whatever, I can't say that. Basically what I would do, now I already placed an order of 50,000 of these things. So I'm waiting for the entire order to come in, but I have to wait 400 and almost 500 days for all that to come in. Now, they do come in a piecemeal, so in that sense, I can pretty much give them to my troops as they come in, but I have to regularly check this page. And that number at the top there tells me how many of these rifles I have access to. Then we have the Richmond rifle, which I'm actually considering trying to find the carbine version of this. And this is the Richmond carbine. Now, I need to get an order for these, so I'm going to place an order for these. But I would like to see the stats on this. Okay. Accuracy mediocre. Range is 375 yards. And it's the carbines that go to the cavalry. Okay, that's why I need to place an order for these things. Because right now, my cavalry has crappy shotguns. So I need to place an order for these. So that's what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna jack this up to 50,000 pieces. And then place order. Okay, those have been ordered. And as you can see, that affected my credit rating. So you have to keep an eye on that. Now, there's one thing I want to look at in here and see what we can do. Ironclad gunboats, no, we can't get that yet. Organization reform. Recruitment offices. Now, I'm really considering getting this up to a 15% modifier because that's 15% more volunteers in the entire division, in the entire Confederacy. And the Union always has more manpower than Confederates do. So, this one right here is actually quite critical. But this one is as well. This allows you to train your men passively without fighting. Once you unlock that, it gives you a 5% modifier, which isn't much, but it goes up by 5% each time. Anyways, enough of that. I think we can get into the game here. Disaster at Fort Smith. Okay, I expected to lose that. I did not expect to hold them back from that. We have 7,000 casualties right now in the army of Shenandoah, but that was a hard fight that you guys didn't see. That was a really bad fight. But Joseph Johnson held off 2 armies at one point, so that's good because it's 2 less armies that go into our territory. But now they're taking Alexander from us because I don't have the other armies built up, and that's the problem. I have to wait until I get that 3-year contract thing to be able to do that, because I don't have enough men to fill out the rest of the armies. That's the problem. So I have to give them free reign of the Confederacy, at least for a little bit. I'm just trying to hold the ground that I do have. It's freaking sucks. I'm telling you. It's really blows chunks. I'm gonna see if I can start to recruit any more soldiers. I'm hoping I can because somebody has to stop this. And I don't have the time to be waiting until more troops can be available. To be honest, I really don't have the time to be doing that. So I'm gonna see what is available right now. This is the Navy page. So I don't want to deal with that right now. I want to see if I can't get any more troops here because we need them. Actually, I'm gonna build up the... Yeah, keep going past it. I'm gonna build Beauregard's army up because he's so far from the action. I'm gonna push him up so that he can help with Tennessee. Okay. Well, here we go, guys. Thankfully, hopefully there'll be enough men here to at least fill out one more army. I'm thinking there would be, but I don't know for sure. Okay, that's 3 divisions right there. I'm deleting these because they're not organized the way I want them to be organized. So that's why I'm deleting them, because I want them to be organized a specific way within the army. Okay. I'm gonna do this a little bit different than I usually do it. I'm gonna basically have, yeah, see, it wasn't enough to do an entire army. See, that's why I was hesitant to do that. I'm basically trying to make it so that I have 2 corps of infantry, and I will explain the corps system later on when we unlock it. But now we can't recruit any men at all. Like, we're completely gone. So, it's unfortunate. Because as of right now, we can't do nothing about it. Trying to get Joseph Johnston's army to connect to, there we go. I'm waiting for him to connect to the supply depot. That's what this black thing is. You always want to keep your supplies at a decent rate. That really sucks. Trying to build out an army, but you don't have enough troops to do it. It really kind of blows. As you can see, I built a hospital there. Well, they're starting to build one. So yeah, essentially we are stuck right now, backs against the wall, can't really do nothing. Uh, yeah, we are really stuck. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We're basically, as of right now, screwed to the wall. Oh boy. As you can see, if we look around the map, we're essentially screwed to the wall. Because we have armies all over the south right now. And we can't even do anything about it. It really, really sucks. And I would speed the game up for you guys, but I'm really not in a position where I can do that. It really is just bite your nails and hang on to what you have as of right now. Still there, bro? I really don't know what to do. Kinda stuck, to be honest. If I can somehow push into the north with Johnston, I think that would turn the war. Because it would force the other armies out of the other Confederate states. We're yellow readiness, so three-year contracts. So now the Union's got 3-year contracts, I guess. That really sucks. I don't like that. That really sucks ass. Oh man. Oh boy. Jeez, this is just nuts. Me having to sit here and basically do anything. I can't really do anything. I'm stuck. I mean, I know this is boring, guys, but like, I can't do anything. You guys seen that I'm doing what I can. Like, there's no more troops to be recruited. And I tried to build another army, but I don't have the troops to do it. So it really sucks rear because I can't freaking do anything. But once I get in a position where I can do something, there's gonna be some action, guys, and you don't want to miss that. But it's just a matter of the waiting game, basically. And I know the longer I wait, the worse it's gonna get, but I don't really have a choice. You see, the reason why I'm focusing on Winchester so much and trying to hold that is because if they take Winchester, the Confederacy is screwed. Okay? Everything else we can deal with, but Winchester is an open road to Richmond. So we can't afford to lose that. That's why I got an army sitting there. Freaking, this just... We got 80,000 men in the Confederate Army right now. Can't get much in terms of technology, nothing that's gonna really help us here. That really sucks, honestly. Because we need to push these other armies out, but we can't do it without troops, guys. That's the problem. And we got 80,000 troops in the Confederate Army, which might seem like a lot, but that's in a span of 2 armies. We don't have a whole lot. And we have to fill out several armies, not just 2. What do we got here? Almost got Confederate guns. I'm half tempted to get this. Cavalry carbines. Repeater rifles would just be awesome. But that's gonna cost us a lot of money to be saved up. So and we don't really have the industry to produce repeater rifles at a reasonable rate, so I'm gonna stay away from doing that. 98,000 Confederate troops in the entire army. Again, that might seem like a lot, but that's in the span of 2 armies. That's not 100,000 troops now. I don't know. What do you think, Jackie? Do you think we should go with the repeater rifles and just save up until we get them? Three-year contracts, that's what I was waiting for. However, I'm gonna get the draft because we need the troops. So I'm gonna institute the draft now. That's gonna take 27 days. Jeez. Yeah, I'm gonna institute the draft and get as many troops laws as we can. I mean, the public's not gonna like it because we're basically forcing the Confederate citizens into the army, but we don't really have a choice here because we need to fill out these armies so we can fight back. What month is it now? It's August 28th, 1861. Okay, so there's only a couple more months of fighting left. So I'm going to try to get that instituted before the end of the fighting season. And then, what we might end up doing, yeah, I know, but do you realize how much money we have to save up to get that? I mean, let me put this in perspective here. So if we go down to the repeater rifle thing, although it would be beneficial, like, big time, I'm trying to put this in perspective for you. If I can find it. Oh, I must have went past it. Hang on. I'm trying to find it so that I can show you. Here we go. So, to get repeater rifles, we need, where does it show how much we need? It actually shows how much we need here, but I'm trying to get it to come up so I can read it. We need 17 million. We have 5 million of that financed. 17 million. Okay, that's gonna be a while. And that means we can't spend anything on this page until we get that. That's the problem with going by that. We have all this other stuff that we can spend money on. Or we can wait until we get 7 million and we'll have 17 million and then unlock repeater rifles. But with the industry that we have right now, it's gonna take a long time just to make a couple of them. So what I'm considering doing is getting the next industry law once we get the draft instituted. Because right now, all our forces are volunteer. And I don't want to do that. Like, I wanted to avoid the draft, but at this particular point, it doesn't make sense. Like, we need the draft. It's going to make people mad. It's going to make the support for the war go down. But I think if I can pull off a couple victories and kick these Yankees out of here, like completely, and then move into their territory, it's going to be beneficial, and then the support for the war will go back up. I'm hoping that's how it is, but I don't know. Okay, right now we have 2,000 of the 47,000 in the hospital right now. That's what that disabled number is. So we have about 2,300 people in the hospital from that army right now. But Johnston is ready to move into enemy territory, but I would like to get as many troops as I can back from the hospitals before I do something like that. That's what this green bar means. Effectively, it means I can move into enemy territory. If you go down to the red bar, you can't operate in enemy territory. You can operate in your own territory, but you can't operate in enemy territory. Okay, so that's another reason we were waiting until the bar was full. Europeans threaten whatever. Okay, what do we got right now? Let's take a look at this. Tacky, do you really want us to wait until we get repeat rifles? Because, I mean, I like the idea, but I don't know if that would be a smart idea. Although with the repeater rifles, we might be able to absolutely decimate the Union armies. You know what? I'm gonna put another 5% in the recruitment offices because we need the manpower right now. It'll build back up. I think we need the manpower. I think during the off season, that's when I'm gonna make my move against kicking the Yankees out of the territory. Hopefully, because by then I'm thinking we might have the army to do that. Well, we have to save up again for repeater rifles, Tacky, because I put another thing into the recruitment offices, so right now we have a 15% manpower modifier from volunteers. I am trying to institute the draft right now, which is going to be beneficial because we can pull regiments from volunteers and drafts at the same time, which should give me enough manpower to fill out the rest of the armies the way I want them to be built. There is no correct way to build armies, to be honest, but some configurations are better than others. So that's why I'm trying to get the draft, because the way I want to configure things, that type of configuration would be a better idea. Let's see what we got here for industry. Okay, we can almost get the foundry, or we can wait a little bit longer and get the ironworks. Now, the ironworks is going to allow us to produce our own weapons domestically a little faster. So, if you ask me, I'm thinking we should go with the ironworks. Plus, the priority on that is very high. So we kind of need ironworks in the nation right now. $130 in the army right now, which again, that's between two armies. So we're starting to get a decent sized army overall, but I need to be able to fill out the rest of them. And our industry, money is being saved up as well. I think I'm gonna start to actually, once we get the second industry law, I think I'm gonna start to put money back into the economics so that we can pay part of our debt back. I mean, we don't have a bad debt right now, but I would rather start to put a debt into it. Institute the laws that would help us pay that back. How much longer do we have on this draft? 2 weeks, Tactician, we got the draft going. And then hopefully we can fill out the rest of the South Carolina militia the way I want him to. And then what I'll do is I'll send him to Tennessee to help the Army of Tennessee while I'm recruiting for the Army of Tennessee. And we can get the rest of these armies out of here. I'm not too worried about Virginia because the next thing that they're going to do is they have to go from here to here. That's the most likely move that they're going to make. So I'm kind of gambling here and hoping that that is the next move that they make in Virginia. So I'm not going to send Beauregard up to Virginia to free up Alexander. I would rather send him to the states where we're having trouble. although Virginia is the core state, and if we lose Virginia, we lose the war because it's an open road to Richmond. So that's kind of why I'm trying to protect it as much as I can. And putting the other states on the back burner, but it's, yeah, right? I know. Well, Taki, here's what I'm going to ask you, because two heads are better than one. What do you think we should do? Should we put the other states on the back burner and get the rest of these Yankee troops out of Virginia, or do we need to send troops down to the other states? Because my fear is that if we don't send troops to other states to kick the rest of the armies out, because as you can see, we got 5 armies in the Confederate States of America altogether. Most of these are in other states, okay? And I think it might pose a problem because we got it well handled in Virginia, from what I can tell. We can at least hold the ground. But I think it's in other states where we have a problem. But I'll leave this decision up to you because two heads are better than one. Virginia is the core state. It's going to hold us together because if we lose Virginia, we're basically screwed. But at the same time, we can't have them going through Tennessee the way they're doing. So we have a choice to make. Do we send Beauregard to Tennessee and the other states to help, or do we send them to Virginia to kick them out of Alexander, Virginia, and then do that? That's the dilemma that we're facing right now, is where to send Beauregard when I get everything taken care of in regards to his command. Because I got to give him artillery, I got to give him cavalry, and I pretty much gave him almost all his infantry. So the infantry is taken care of. It's just the cavalry and artillery pretty much that we got to take care of. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking once I get Beauregard taken care of, he's going to go to Tennessee and he's going to try and help the Army of Tennessee, because we do have an Army of Tennessee that is stationed in Tennessee, but nobody is in it. It's a complete blank army right now because we don't have the manpower to basically build the Army of Tennessee. So that's why I'm thinking that we should send Beauregard once we get the troops to do that. I'm thinking we should send Beauregard to Tennessee because that's where the majority of them are giving us the issue. Dang, draft, come on. Okay, the draft is going to be done in 3.5 days. Dang it. This really sucks, the fact that I have to sit on my butt and do nothing until I, have the resources to do this. I mean, this really sucks. So Beauregard pretty much has all his infantry except for a couple. I need to give him one more to fill out. Because what you want to do is you want to make these equal. You want to make the divisions equal. Okay? And so I have to wait until I get the draft to be able to do that. And then what we have to do is give him 3 divisions of cavalry and 3 divisions of artillery. And then he'll be ready to go. He won't be ready to work in Union territory, but he'll be ready to defend if he needs to. So, it's just a waiting game at this point. The reason why I chose to build up the South Carolina militia is because it is so far down into the South that it's likely that he would have enough time to do so. My concern was that if he did not, if I did not build that one and I built the Army of the Potomac, my concern was that somebody would hit it. So I wanted to build an army that was so far down into the South so that they wouldn't hit it during that time. Because in actuality, let me show you something. It might not look like it, but the reason why these are all colored in and these ones are not, it's because we have to wait 4 days for them to get there. They have 4 days left until they get there. This brigade has 4 days as well, and this brigade has 4 days as well. But sometimes they're all different. So basically that's why we're waiting. We're basically waiting for the troops to get to his command. And that's the problem. That's why we have to sit for so long, is because we have to wait for the soldiers to get to his command. But as of right now, I did not realize how many soldiers Beauregard had in his command. But he has an army of 86,000 troops. And that's just infantry. That's not counting the cavalry that we're going to implement into his army. So I would imagine by the time we get this done, Beauregard's going to have an army that's over 100,000 troops, which is going to be beneficial because to fight back, I think that's going to be the tipping point when we start using this 100,000 man army. So I'm excited to push him into action. What do we got here? Springfield rifle. We have 5,000 of this rifle, and I'm thinking I should order some Richmond rifles. I'm thinking I should, just so we have enough constant flow of weapons. Okay, we're getting 50,000 copies of the Richmond rifle. Now, the reason why I did that was because Beauregard's 86,000 troops, we have to give every single man a rifle. Okay? And right now, We only have 5,000 rifles of this particular rifle here. Granted, we did order 50,000 of them, but I don't think it's going to be enough by the time that whole army is recruited. So that's why I gave an order of these standardized Richmond rifles. As you can see, let me find it. Yeah, I gotta find it again. As you can see, if I click right here, and we look at the stats for this rifle, this is a better rifle overall. Okay? This is, let me see. .500 yards, okay, versus the Richmond rifle, which is 400 yards. So that's 100 yards difference that which we can fire. The Richmond rifle is basically a copy of the Springfield rifle. So that when you look at the Springfield rifle, it's basically a copy of the Richmond rifle. However, when we look at the Richmond rifle directly, if I can get it to come up, the Springfield rifle is 400 yards. The Richmond rifle is 450. So in a sense, it's a better rifle than what the Union is using as its standard arm. But it is not 500 yards like the other one. Which is why I try to give out this rifle over the Richmond rifle, because I want as much of an edge as possible when we're fighting these guys. But we're recruiting so many men that I cannot place another order of these rifles until that order is complete. Okay? So that's why I gave an order of Richmond rifles, because I need rifles getting out there. Because our army is so big. Or going to be so big. I mean, we already have 143,000 troops in the Confederate Army. Altogether. And we instituted the draft. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to try to get the second industry law so that we have more money coming in dedicated to industry, and then I will try to pay off the debt. And now we're going to go back to Beauregard's army, the South Carolina militia, and we're going to recruit troops for his army. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we need 3 more Two more, actually. Two more brigades for his army. And I want it to go to this man here. Actually, we're a little past that. So, I'm going to disband one of these. And while I'm thinking about it, Tacky, you might be thinking, why are you ordering so many weapons? Despite the fact that I explained it, I'm going to give you a visual as to why. Because you see this gun here? This is the lowest weapon you can get. It's not that great. Mixed weapons, mixed muskets is pretty much the crappiest gun you can use. Okay? And it is not very accurate. It is crappy for range. I mean, the whole thing is crappy. Okay? So the reason why I ordered so many weapons is because when you have the weapons to do it, you can interchange them and swap them out so that your men in that brigade have better equipment. You can do the same thing with the artillery as well. So that is why I placed such an amount of weapons on the Richmond rifle and that rifle that is a little more better than Richmond rifle, but not much. The Enfield rifle is actually imported by England. Okay, that's why we can't get that. The Springfield rifle, I can actually steal the information and manufacture the U.S. standard arm. However, with the Richmond rifle being better than the Springfield rifle, and that one rifle that I can't really say being better than the Richmond rifle that we're already producing, I don't think it's worth stealing the information for the Springfield rifle. Oh, great. Now there's frickin' 6 armies in our territory. That's frickin' awesome. Oh, well, that's great. Right down to Richmond. That's frickin' great. We are screwed. Pretty much. Unless we can do something about it. Ah. Okay. Prepare for your first battle here. Because we can't not make a move anymore. They are basically in Richmond right now, which is not good. I'm trying to find Beauregard here. I'm having a hard time finding him though. And so, because we have 5,000 copies of that rifle, I want to upgrade to that. Okay? And I'm thinking that my cavalry got upgrades as well. Yes, they did. They got pretty much the Richmond carbine, which is better than that shotgun crap that they've been using. So I'm excited to use these guys in battle because now they got better equipment. So, but now we need to hustle because they're down towards Richmond, which kind of took me off guard. I did not expect that, but hopefully I think what I'm going to do, because of the dire straits that we're in here, is when I get the South Carolina militia done, I'm going to send them up to Richmond. Okay, so we're going to say that I want my artillery people. But before we do that, what I'm going to do is actually do this. I think I would be able to do it, but I have to look. I would have to look. Where's artillery reform? Okay, so we're gonna get the artillery reform, and then we're also gonna get the cavalry reform. This allows us to pull more men into each brigade of each kind. So that's kind of why I did that. I'm going to say weapon production. We just upgrade our weapon production by 5%. Now, what we're going to do now is say that, well, apparently those didn't save, so we're going to make those brigades again. Well, divisions again. We're going to break 3 different commanders off, and these are going to be our artillerists. And then we're going to do the cavalry last. I'm actually going to do one more artillery just to make that equal. So we're going to do one more division of artillery. Okay. There we go. And look at this, Taggy. there's a reason I did the artillery reform and everything, is because now that army has 92,000 men, okay, but he also has 320 artillery guns, okay? This is not some force that you want to screw around with. There is 320 pieces of artillery in this exact force alone. Now we're going to do the cavalry brigades, which I'm going to do individually without breaking 3 off automatically, so that I don't lose track of that, because this army is getting so big that I don't want to lose track of that. And we're gonna get 5 of these, and then we're gonna break 1 more off. And get 5 more. I'm gonna break another one off just to save time here. And we're gonna give each one of these people 5 brigades. Okay. So, end result, this number is going to be the end result. Beauregard's army, okay, is going to have 129,000 men in it. That's his army by itself. By the time all this comes back, it's going to be 129,000 men. And so now we're gonna just wait until Beauregard gets all his men. And then once we do that, unfortunately we might lose Richmond for a little bit, but once he does get all his men, it's gonna be a wrecking ball. Because I ain't playing games with these guys. But there is going to be a battle here, and it's going to be over Alexander. And the reason for that is, yep, Richmond falls. You see, the morale just plummeted big time. But see, I'm going to use pretty much Beauregard's army. When he gets all his men, I'm going to use him to take that back. So just got to be a little patient, and once we take Alexander, well, that's going to bring some of the morale back, but not all of it. As you can see, Joseph Johnston has 71 guns compared to Beauregard that has 350. And they're sending troops to reinforce. Dang it. It's not what I wanted to do. That sucks that Richmond fell, though. I'll have to basically hustle to get that back. We're on the back foot, but I think once Beauregard gets his army in place, like all 120 something thousand, I think we'll be set to go and we can just smash people and start liberating the Confederacy. I realize that we're gonna have more armies to, guard all the places, but I think if we manage to retake Richmond, it's on the up and up from there because we'll have Beauregard's army in action. Right now we're just using one because we're waiting for the stupid troops to frickin' show up. So I'm just trying to buy Beauregard time to get all his troops. And I know we can retake Richmond, it's just a matter of the waiting game, really. How long are these troops gonna be? Because that's gonna be a massive addition to the Confederate Army. Yeah, 20 days. So about a month, and we'll get the majority of these, I think. But yeah, this really sucks that we have to wait so long, especially in dire straits like this. You know what though? We might be able to build up the Army of the Potomac and take Richmond that way as well. Okay, so right now He already has 3. But I think what I'm gonna do is just start from scratch here and try to organize the armies the way I want them to be organized. And, yeah, Hampton's division and the Army of the Potomac are in perfect position to retake Richmond. So I think what we're gonna do is actually do that. I got like 10 more minutes left on this stream, guys. I know we're on the back foot right now, but it's just how it is. I mean, I can't do nothing about it. It's just how it is. I mean, if I could do something about it earlier on, I would have done that. But unfortunately, we were stuck waiting for the majority of it, so this is how it is, fighting on the Confederate side, at least at the beginning here, within the first year, because you don't have everything organized, you don't have the manpower that the North has initially. So okay, so that's gonna start our 2nd Infantry Corps, I think. I think that's what we're gonna start doing, is making these 2 corps strong. I don't have the corps system implemented yet, but that will be implemented at a later point. Okay, now we're going to do the artillery. And that's going to be 6 brigades of artillery. Well, 6 divisions of artillery, actually. That's 2. Okay. And then that's 3. 4. 5. 6. We're working on pulling out of the garbage. We're gonna fight back in the next episode here. I just want to get this filled up so that when I come back and do the next episode, it's already done. We just have to play the waiting game for these troops to come in. Okay. So this is one artillery brigade, one artillery division. Okay. This is one. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. Okay, so we need one more here. Okay, that's enough for this episode. So don't forget to push that like and subscribe button. Again, I know we're on the back foot, but we're pulling ourselves out of it. And there's going to be some fights coming up pretty soon here. Some pretty massive fights, actually. So you don't want to miss that one. But I want to see what the end result of this army is going to be when we're done here. Oh man. 480 pieces of artillery. That's freaking insane. Oh, someone's getting blown the heck on that one. Oh, dude. They don't even have their cavalry yet. And they got 97,000 troops. Jeez. Yeah, it's time to implement the core system. Can I actually do that before we go here? I wonder if I can. I want to check real quick before we go. No, we can't. Dang it. Alright, I was hoping that we would be able to implement that before we went, but I'll see you guys in the next episode. And the next episode, we're going to try to take Richmond. At least try. Either with Beauregard or Cole's Army of the Potomac. I think it's going to be both of them at the same time. I might send one to Tennessee. I might send the other one to help take what we lost in Virginia and other states. But for right now, we are on the back foot, and I keep saying that, but it's just how we gotta play it for right now. But when I'm done with it, it's gonna be the Yankees that are running. Oh boy, we're in a dire strait right now, but that's okay.